Have you ever thought about doing built-in bookcases in your house? Today I'm going to show you how to do that. As you can see, we're in a 1920s era farmhouse, and we're taking a corner of this living room and we're going to turn it into a in-house library. So we're doing built-in bookshelves. This is what we did process-wise. We came out, we measured for the space that we wanted to put it in. Obviously, there was a whole lot of trim on the walls and around the windows, so we took all that out of place. And then, being that this is a 1920s farmhouse and things are never straight and level and square and all this kind of stuff, what we did is we took some measurements, took those, I was looking for the shop, and we made templates, basically, that are going to represent the face frame on the cabinets that we did. And where that is coming in real handy for us is on our first one here, we took our measurements, everything worked out really good, except the ceiling is about a 1/4 inch lower on one end of where our cabinet is going to be than it is on the other. So we're going to have to compensate for that by taking this side here, and actually this whole thing, this whole cabinet, we're going to make a note on here that needs to be minus 1/4 of an inch in height. Width-wise, we're fine. It's going to fit in there real good. We've got it set up to where from this corner block up here over, we're going to slide over about 2 inches to go beyond that. So we'll leave this window trim in place, but this whole cabinet will move over about 2 inches. So when we come down to the floor down here with all that fancy trim on there, we're going to have to cut that out to get this cabinet all the way into the corner. So we know that with just a little bit of a modification on this face frame, it's going to work. Then we're going to go over to the other side of the window. And we made another piece dependent on the measurements that we made that's going to fit in there. So when we get our gap in there, my God, that one fits just absolutely perfect. That's exactly what we want. Other than you'll see that this window is not exactly plumb, because when we're tight over to the corner over here, we've got a good 2 inches here, which is exactly what we want. That's actually 1 3/4. We wanted to clear that windowsill. But up here, we're only about 1 1/4. So we're off by about 1/4 of an inch there. So we'll compensate for that when we get this made in there to hide that difference there. So that one works out pretty good. So that's okay. Then underneath the window here, we're going to put a seat down here. So the girls can sit there and read, and this cabinet will stick out about 12 inches here. We'll put a padded seat here so they can basically sit in the window with their backs up against the edge of the bookshelf and have a cool little reading spot. And we're going to put a lift up seat on it so that they can be storing their books and other things in the bottom. Now we just got to make sure that our width calculation here is pretty close to right on the money. And ultimately, that's real good in that we know we're going to move this cabinet over about 2 inches when we get the trim down here. And we've got about 2 inches of overhang there. So that's going to fit in there real good, actually. That's going to be right on the money with what we want to do with that. So that's going to work out well. So these represent basically the outline of the cabinets that we're going to put in. And again, this will all be bookshelves. This will be bookshelves. And then this is going to be seating down here with storage in it. And then we're going to come up with another little cabinet coming up in here to fill that space. So we have accomplished what we needed to accomplish today in terms of now we know that the measurements we have taken are going to work rather than just measuring them and going ahead and making them. We know with these templates that they're going to work. We know what we've got to do to change this one. We get this into place. And that's going to be the outline of the cabinets that we're going to put in there. Going to be pretty cool. A nice little seating area. They can literally be sitting right in here on this pad, leaning up against the bookshelf that way or that way, and just have a cool little reading nook for them. And they are voracious little readers. They love to read books. They love to go to the library. So this is going to have the opportunity to become kind of their own little library. All their books are stashed on here, and whatever little games that they've got might go on there.
Now, you had a very creative idea. What is your very scary creative idea with this very interesting space?
The very interesting space over here is there was access to this space under the stairwell here. So we took that door off dispose of it, knowing that this cabinet's going to stick out of there about a foot, so over to about here, this is going to be covered. What we're going to do with this is we're going to build another set of bookshelves, and we're going to put it on drawer slides like your kitchen cabinets would be on, and it's going to slide right back into that area right there. So if they ever need to slide it out, they can slide it out, access the space behind it, and when they're done with it, they slide that bookcase back inside there with the books, and it'll come up flush to this face of the wall right here. So by the time we trim that out and get it all in there, if you don't know that it moves, you'll never even know that it's done that way. It's going to look like a built-in, but you'll have access to pull that out and access to all the space that's unutilized behind the stairs and underneath the stairs now. So we'll get that in place for you. We'll show you how all that works, and we'll have a whole lot more space here for storing stuff underneath the steps, for tons and tons of books, and it's going to look really nice. It's going to fit right into this cool old 1920s farmhouse.
On this project, you're doing built-in bookshelves, and you saw the space underneath the stairs, and instead of seeing a problem, you saw an opportunity. Talk to me about the creative process and things that you've developed over time that made you look at that and say, you know what we can do?
Okay, cool, fantastic. When we get inside, you'll see that there's a staircase that runs through part of the living room, and underneath that staircase is basically wasted space. Go out there and just be creative. Be creative with the space, because there's nothing you can do that's going to cause it really to fail. Failing is not thinking about it, not thinking outside that box, and not trying to come up with a way to utilize that space. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to get creative. We're going to make a door that basically is a bookshelf, and it'll access the confines underneath the stairs and put that space into useful storage.